You Booked It, episode 99. Hey, entertainers and performers of the world. I'm your host, Dane Reese, and welcome to You Booked It, where I chat with inspiring entertainment professionals 7 days a week. By digging into their journey, we're going to discover everything you need to do to have a successful entertainment career. You know, because training usually skips that part about how to actually make your skills work for you in the real world. Fellow entertainers, my drive here at You Booked It is to share the inspiring and incredible journeys of successful entertainment professionals. We're here to support your journey. So go to youbookeditpodcast.com and join the You Booked It email community, where we dig deep into truly actionable things you can be doing right now to book that next audition, submission, or gig. If you enjoy this free podcast, please show your support and search for You Booked It on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app, where you can subscribe so you don't miss an episode, leave a rating, and review. And now, let's do this. All right, let's get started. I am excited to introduce my guest today, Anthony Pagliaro. Are you ready for this, Anthony?
I sure am.
All right. Anthony started his personal journey in fitness at 7 years old, beginning with martial arts and then baseball. As he grew older, he received his certified medical assistant degree while going to school for personal training and nutrition. He also served in the U.S. Air Force for 6 years. After his military service, he started his professional mixed martial arts career, and still to this day, he fights and coaches other fighters. While loving his fitness journey, he began looking into acting and background work, first doing multiple TV shows and movies simply as an extra and stand-in, but eventually he began to become noticed, which has landed him bigger roles and stunt work. Anthony, that is a quick intro of who you are and what you've done, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Fill in the gaps, who you are, and a little bit more about what you do as a professional in the entertainment industry.
So I'm originally from upstate New York in a little place called Kingston, which a lot of people don't know was actually the first capital of New York. I really don't know who I am yet. There's always the ups and downs in life, and you always try to figure out what you want to do or where you want to go. I don't compare myself to anybody else. I'm my own person, and I think that's what life is about, is just making your own self. As far as calling somewhere home, I really don't consider having a home. I like to travel a lot. I like to move around a lot. And as you know, in the entertainment industry, we do a lot of traveling and we really can't settle down anywhere. Like you said, I started my background work and stand-in right after the military. And ever since then, it's just been an uphill climb.
Beautiful. And you're right. Us as entertainers, we're here, there, everywhere, all over the place, all the time. But that, I think, is one of the most fun parts of this entire journey.
Yes, definitely.
All right, well, let's move on to this section here. And Anthony, look, I am a sucker for a good quote. What is your favorite quote you'd like to share with everyone?
So I really don't have a favorite quote. It's actually my quote that I've grew up and made my own. And it says, you can either live your life and enjoy every moment being adventurous and happy in what you do, or you can let life live you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And can you expand on how you've developed that quote for yourself and how that has played out throughout your career and your entire life?
I pretty much tell everybody, especially my clients, especially my teammates, anybody that I work with a lot of kids and teenagers, and we always have to show them the way or lead them because they always look up to you. Why do you have to sit and dwell on the little things when there's so much more in life that you can enjoy and have fun with? Why would you want to sit there and dwell on, what's going to happen come payday? Why am I making enough to do this? Why don't you just live day to day and enjoy everything that you're doing that day and then worry about that stuff when you get to it?
Yeah, I like that. Be present, be in the now.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Let's move on to this next section. And Anthony, of course, you are an entertainer. I am an entertainer. And I think that you'd agree that this industry can be one of the most subjective, brutally honest, personally emotional industries in existence. And you know as well as I that in order to create and have a successful career in this industry like you're having now, takes a lot of dedication and hard work. And while Yeah, there's an outrageous amount of fun and excitement doing what we do. There are also our fair share of obstacles, challenges, and failures we are going to experience and we're going to have to move forward through. So tell us, what is one key challenge, obstacle, or failure you've experienced in your career, and how did you come out the other side better because of it?
Being a fighter, being an athlete, being in the entertainment industry, you're always going to have the people that love what you do and support you, and then you're going to have the haters. Being a fighter and being an athlete, we have more haters than we do actual people that support us. Guaranteed, if you were to look at ticket sales or people that come to fights, most of those people that buy tickets are haters because they want to see you fail. They want to see you hit bottom. They don't want you to go up to the top. They don't want you to succeed. They just want to keep you, down to their level. It goes along the saying, misery likes company. Growing up, I had big issues with family. My biological father really didn't pay attention to me. He was always dropping me off at my papa's house, my aunts, my uncles, my friends. There was times where I just felt like he didn't want me or he didn't want me around, and that's why he would drop me off. So to me, that's one of the biggest negative obstacles that I've had to overcome. Is for the longest time as I tried to prove myself to him, and I'd always do things just to make myself look good in his eyes. And I really didn't care what anybody else thought. I really didn't care if it hurt me or if I get injured doing it or what was going on. I just wanted his approval.
Hmm.
Eventually later on, sorry, it gets me emotional. I finally called him up and talked to him and explained to him, look, I am 30 years old. I wanted your approval. I wanted a dad. I wanted someone to look up to. I wanted somebody to be there. I wanted somebody to be at my movie premiere, be at my fights, to be there. And I said, either you're going to be with me and support me, or I don't want you part of it. He said, I don't want your negative comments, your negative outlook on it. Every time I talk to you or I post something, you're always putting something negative on Facebook or on Instagram. Or every time I'm calling you, you're, oh, that's good. So how's this person doing? You never really cared about what I thought. So I said, it's time that you make the choice. Either you want to be in my life and support me, or just don't be there. So I think that's probably one of the hardest obstacles I've had to come over.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That is really full on. And it's great to hear that you took that step for yourself and you said, look, you had to come to that realization that said, I need to be in control of my life, of my happiness, of my art, of what I'm accomplishing in this world and in this life. That I need people that are on board with that and they're going to support me. And that's what's most important. And it takes a lot of time to even come to that realization, us as people. And it's amazing that you've reached that part.
Yeah, it definitely still hurts, and I'm constantly asking other families, my aunts, my uncles, that I ask them, hey, did I do the right thing? Should I have said that, or should I have said it a different way? Or and they all told me no. You need to move on. You need to do what you want to do and be happy.
Yeah. And that's good. And you are. And that's fantastic. Well, let's move on to a time that I like to call your spotlight moment. That
Okay.
one moment in time you realized, yes, I am going to be an entertainer for a living. Or maybe it was, yes, this is what I need to be doing in the entertainment industry. Tell us about that.
I have a lot of moments, especially with fighting, doing the background work, or doing stand-in work. I would have to say my favorite moment, it was being on the set of when I was doing Magnificent Seven with Ethan Hawke and Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
We were on set, and during the 3 days that I was there with them on set, we actually got to interact with Ethan Hawke and Chris Pratt because I was a stand-in, so we were around them 24/7. And afterwards, they took myself, my brother, and two of the girls that were there on set. They took us all out to drink with them, and just hanging out with them and being with them and seeing a different side of them the actor and them the person,
Yeah.
it made me realize, you know what? Maybe actors are really down to earth, party, fun, happy people. And that's something I want to get into.
Yeah, 100%. I can relate to that experience, not with being going out to drinks with Ethan Hawke, but with being around very successful people or celebrities, if you will. And the most profound thing that struck me about being around those people is that they're people. They're just normal people that just so happen to be very talented or very successful in whatever it is that they do, but
Mhm.
there's nothing mythical about them. And that I remember the first time that happened, I was at an event, and I think it was Quincy Jones was there, Oprah was there, Steven Spielberg was there, and I was like, oh my God. You see these people on TV all the time and you know about their works, but you see them in person, they're just normal, great people. And I think oftentimes we forget that.
Yeah, it's a big, just the fighter. What's the word I'm looking for? The fighter Patrona, or is it the fighter look that everybody has? Is, oh, look, he's a fighter. He's got the
Right.
cocky attitude. He's got the bad attitude. Don't. He's probably an asshole or this or that. And most of us are the kindest, loving, as they would say, the big teddy bear.
You're right. So funny how that all works out, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, let's piggyback on that moment and let's talk about your number one booked it moment. Walk us through that day, the auditions and callbacks, if they happen to be a part of it. What was going on in your life, and what about that moment makes it your favorite booked it moment?
I would have to say my favorite booked it moment is when I got the lead role in a movie called The Pandering, which actually just we just had a movie premiere last Saturday,
Oh,
and then
congratulations.
thank you. And I just found out from the producer 2 days ago that it's going to be going on Prime Video and Hulu. So that was a big. I can't explain the feeling, the thoughts. I broke down and had a. I can't. I know it's weird to say, but I broke down and had a come to Jesus moment where I felt like, you know what? I can do this. I did do it. What was I thinking? Why was I listening to all those the haters, the negativity? I pushed through it. Why can't somebody else? And that's kind of along the lines of my quote too. If I can do it, I can help somebody else do it, or I can show somebody else that they can do it. But along with that, my booked it moment was getting the lead role in The Pandering. I was actually sitting at my house, watching my favorite TV show called Supernatural. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah.
And I was just having I don't know, I was just having an off day. I woke up tired, didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sit, didn't want to talk to anybody, didn't want to be around anybody. And I got a phone call from the producer saying, "Hey, would you like to do this little audition for us?" He told me about the movie he wants to produce and the movie in details. And I was like, "Sure, why not?" It was kind of like a shock to me because I've done everything. I've never had an agent. I never had a manager. I've done everything myself. So I've made the calls. I've contacted people. I've done it myself. So for that to happen was a big shock. I did the audition on over the phone, which was totally weird. Seeing myself on the screen and talking into a screen is different than actually looking at people and able to interact with them. And about 2 hours later, I got a phone call back, and it's a good thing I answered the phone because it was a weird number. And they said, "Hey, can you be on set tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, what did you just say?" So that was probably my number one heaven moment, booked it moment.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you've created everything and all your opportunities yourself, and you've gone out there and made things happen for yourself. And to see it all come to fruition, and now it's your movies being premiered, and now it's going to be on massive distribution networks. It's like cloud nine, I can only imagine, and
Oh
so
yeah,
validated in everything you've done.
it feels so awesome.
That's amazing. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
And let's move on and talk about the present for a bit. What projects are you currently working on? What are you looking forward to? And, we are amidst this global pandemic. How do you see the entertainment industry moving forward in the next couple of years?
As of right now, my entertainment career, as a lot of people know, is on hold because of all this COVID stuff. Like I said, I'm a personal trainer and nutritionist. So right now, I'm focused on my clients most of the time. I love giving them new ideas. I like helping them. I've gotten closer to a lot of my clients because I can actually be with them. As far as their entertainment world, I really don't know. It could go up, it could go down. A lot of people say if this continues, there's going to be a big depression. I just got done talking with my producer, and he says none of the bars are opening up until November in Vegas. So I know Vegas is getting hit big time with their financial outlook and entertainment out there. Yeah, I really don't know about the entertainment world. I'm going to keep pushing and keep striving. That's the way you got to look at it. And there's always ups, there's always downs, but you just got to push past them.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the insight. And it's time to move on to one of my favorite sections in the interview. I call it the Grease Lightning Round. I am going to ask you a handful of questions. I want you to answer them as quickly and concisely as possible, one after another. Are you ready?
Is there a buzzer or a stop button?
All right, first question. What was the one thing holding you back from committing to a career as an entertainer?
I would have to say money was probably the biggest.
Yes. Second question. What is the best piece of advice you have ever received?
The best, ooh, the best advice I've ever received probably would be coming from my poppy. He made me, I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. He made me dig a hole, which took me probably about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then an hour later, he goes, all right, now go fill it up. And I was like, what? I just dug a hole for you that took me 2.5 to 3 hours. Now you want me to go bury it? And then come probably about 13 or 14 years old, I asked him, I was like, you know what, Poppy, why did you make me do that? And he goes, to learn a life lesson. And he goes, this is what I'm going to tell you. He goes, no matter how deep or how far you feel, you can always come out of it and you can always come out stronger.
I love that. Such a good metaphor in making you do it physically. Wow, that's
Mhm.
powerful. And the third question. What is something that is working for you right now? Or if you'd like to go pre-COVID, what was working for you before our industry went on pause?
Something that is working for me now is I actually have an agent.
Oh,
So
great.
yes, so I've actually got an agent now. So I send a lot of my portfolios, my headshots, my reels. I send it to her, and I just sit back and let somebody else do the work for a change. I think I've come to that point in my life where I can sit back and let somebody take over.
Right on. And the fourth question. What is your best resource, whether it's a book, a movie, a YouTube video, a podcast, maybe a piece of technology that you found is helping your career right now?
Other than my agent, I would have to say the best resource that I've found, other than doing my own research and like on IMDb and Instagram and Facebook. I'm actually part of a group called the Las Vegas Actors, and a lot of agents and independent people post things on there, and I've gone on there and done a lot of things on that.
Ah, fantastic. Great resource. And the fifth question. If you had to start your career from scratch, but you still had all the knowledge and experience you've collected from your career in this industry, what would you do or not do? Would you do anything differently or would you keep it the same?
Ooh, tough question. Everybody wants to say, I wish I had a time machine to go back to this day or back to that time. Honestly, I would not do anything differently other than maybe have an agent and have somebody do the work for me instead of doing it myself. But as far as the knowledge, the experience growing up, I don't think I would change any of it.
Beautiful. Love it. And the last question. What is the golden nugget knowledge drop you've learned from your successful career in this industry that you'd like to leave with everyone?
No matter, I hate to use my poppy's metaphor, but no matter how deep you feel, no matter how alone or no matter how depressed you're getting, you can use that as a strength and push forward and keep pushing forward. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you can get back up.
Absolutely. Well said. And to wrap up this interview, Anthony, it is time to give yourself a plug. Where can we find you? How do our listeners connect with you? Is there anything you want to promote?
As far as having my links and telling them everybody go to this www dot all this stuff, I have an Instagram page. It's called tapout8363. On there is my link tree link. You click on that, it has my YouTube channel, my sponsors. If you want to get supplements, nutrition, it also has my information if you want to get personal training, which I do over video or in your house or in your garage. No matter where you are, I can do it. And as far as promotion, just promoting myself and getting myself out there.
Beautiful. And for everyone listening out there, I have put the link to Anthony's Instagram in the description of this episode so you can easily connect with him. Anthony, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your journey with all of us.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us today. My one call to action for you is to go to youbookeditpodcast.com and join our free email community, where we dig deep into a continually growing resource of truly actionable things you can be doing right now to help advance your entertainment career. Don't miss an episode. We have a new guest 7 days a week. Search for You Booked It on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app and subscribe today. All the best to you. We'll see you tomorrow.